So another interesting aspect about Indian culture is how it's all phasing here into the United States. So things like, yoga, which is a very popular urban chic thing to do here in the U.S., was originated in India by yogis who would do it to promote and prolong their life. And, and it's amazing how all those components have phased here into the United States. The bindi, which is a very common thing that you associate with Indians, a red dot. It's actually from ancient times when the husband warriors would go off to war, but they would prick their finger and put their blood on their wife's head, on their wife's forehead, to signify, this is my wife. No one else can come and marry her or anything like that. That's how they signified kind of their ownership. So married women would always have the red dot, and that's what the bindi's for. But now it's kind of evolved. It's more of a fashion thing, and you dress up with different types of bindis for different outfits and stuff, but usually it signifies that you're married, but even unmarried women have it all the time now. And henna, if you've heard of henna, the henna painting on your hands, it's such an old traditional cultural thing in India. Long time ago, when the women were getting married and stuff, and your wedding day is essentially the highlight of your life apparently in India, and it's when you're adorned with all your family's jewels and everything. And the poorer class didn't have all that jewelry and didn't have all those ornaments for their body and stuff, so they would paint on intricate designs on their hands, all for the brides, and that turned into this just beautiful cultural aspect of Indian weddings, where you paint on all the henna and it stays on for about a week or two, but it is meant to look like you had all this jewelry on for the poorer class. But majority of Indians have adapted that, so it's a really fun part of Indian wedding. So it's great to see how a lot of the traditions and cultural aspects of Indian culture is coming and kind of fused into the American culture here too. Okay, one of the things, being a first-generation Indian growing up here but having the roots in India, is help us really realize how much we take for granted here in the United States. We are very fortunate to have the simple luxuries, just like being able to go in the kitchen, turn on the tap, and be able to drink that water. And we take it for granted that it's something that everybody has, but not many countries across the world don't have that. They don't even have clean drinking water. And that's how the disease spreads, and that's how it just promotes poverty. And we have an extensive government that takes care of us. And yes, we all complain about taxes, but we really are very fortunate to be growing up in the United States in this day and age, because when we go back home to India and visit our family there, and even just clean drinking water in the villages is hard to come by, let alone electricity or education or roads to get from one city to the other, it really makes you realize that what we have, we're very fortunate, and we should all try to preserve our culture here and preserve it for the next generation. And I think just be a little bit more appreciative of how lucky we are and how hard our government does work here. And I always feel like we should always give back to people, the other countries, and people even here in the United States that just aren't as fortunate as we are. So hopefully this class project opens up your whole class's eyes to how different people in different countries live, and how we are very lucky and fortunate in so many ways to have so many advancements in technology here in the United States, but also how we can learn from other countries and adapt some of their like the positive aspects of their culture as well.
Thank you very much for answering my questions and spending time with us here today.
Absolutely, anytime.